Welcome to our deep dive into OpenAI's newest language model.
Oh, 3 mini.
Yeah, O3 Mini. Today, we're going to be unpacking their system card and try to extract the most intriguing insights about this AI's capabilities
Okay.
and potential risks.
Sounds good.
One thing that's really interesting about O3 Mini is its enhanced reasoning ability. It uses a chain of thought process to think through problems.
Interesting.
And it's also trained using a method called deliberative alignment,
Okay.
which in theory teaches the AI to reason about safety guidelines.
It's almost like teaching a child not just what the rules are,
Yeah.
but why those rules exist in the first place.
One thing that really caught my eye in the system card
Yeah.
is O3 Mini's ability to actually search the internet
Wow.
and summarize information.
Huh.
OpenAI even plans to integrate this feature into ChatGPT,
Oh, wow.
which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
It's like giving a super intelligent research assistant access to the world's largest library. What kind of impact do you think this could have?
I mean, it could totally revolutionize how we access information.
Right.
But it also raises some concerns about potential misuse.
Like what?
Well, imagine the implications for research.
Right.
If an AI can instantly analyze vast amounts of data or synthesize complex topics,
Yeah.
but on the other hand, it also makes it much easier to spread misinformation or create incredibly convincing fake news.
The system card also highlights the risks associated with O3 Mini.
Okay.
It classifies the model as medium risk in 3 categories.
Okay.
Persuasion, CBRN,
What's CBRN?
that's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear,
Got it.
and model autonomy.
Interesting.
What did OpenAI find in their testing that led to these classifications?
Well, in the persuasion category, O3 Mini's performance on the Change My View evaluation is a bit unsettling.
Okay.
The model crafted arguments as persuasive as top human Redditors.
So you could be interacting with O3 Mini online
Right.
and not even realize it's an AI. That's definitely a bit unnerving.
Yeah.
What about CBRN?
One finding that stood out was O3 Mini's ability to assist in planning a known biological threat.
Oh, wow.
While the model can't independently design a bioweapon,
Okay.
it could help someone operationalize an existing threat.
That's a scary thought.
It is.
And what about model autonomy?
Sure.
Does this mean O3 Mini can act on its own?
Well, O3 Mini demonstrated some impressive coding abilities,
Yeah.
suggesting a potential for self-improvement.
Really?
In the SETUE bench verified evaluation, O3 Mini proved it can competently execute coding tasks.
So if an AI can code, it could potentially modify its own programming.
Potentially, yes.
It definitely sounds like there's a lot of potential for misuse with a model this capable.
Uh-huh.
What is OpenAI doing to address these risks?
Well, they're implementing various measures,
Like what?
including data filtering moderation APIs and refusal behavior training
Okay.
to try and prevent harmful content.
So it's like building in safeguards to the system to keep developers from doing things they shouldn't.
That's one way to think about it.
Are there any other safety measures they're using?
They're also training O3 Mini to refuse certain requests, particularly those that violate their safety guidelines.
Okay.
And they're also committed to ongoing monitoring and targeted investigations.
So they're trying to instill a sense of ethics in the AI
Yeah.
by teaching it to avoid harmful behavior.
Exactly.
That's reassuring that OpenAI is at least aware of these issues and trying to get ahead of them.
Yeah, it seems like they're taking it seriously.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Definitely.
We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to the next section of the report.
They've also developed what they call a preparedness framework.
Okay, a preparedness framework.
Yeah, it's a system they use for tracking, evaluating, and mitigating catastrophic risks from its most advanced AI models.
So like a risk management system specifically designed for AI.
Kinda, yeah.
So how does O3 Mini fit into this framework? I mean, we've already discussed the medium risk classification. So
Right.
seems they consider O3 Mini to pose a significant risk.
I mean, it's not considered as low risk as some earlier models,
Okay.
but also not as high risk as some hypothetical future systems might be. It's somewhere in the middle of the risk spectrum.
So how does that impact OpenAI's approach to O3 Mini?
Well, they're taking its development and deployment very seriously,
Okay.
implementing a range of safety measures and constantly monitoring its behavior.
Good to hear they're erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
You mentioned deliberative alignment before. Can you remind us what that is and how it relates to O3 Mini?
Sure. So it's a training approach that teaches language models to explicitly reason through safety specifications
Uh-huh.
before producing an answer.
So instead of just programming in rules, it's more about teaching the AI to understand and apply those rules in a thoughtful manner.
Yeah, exactly.
Of trying to instill a sense of ethical reasoning within the AI.
Right.
How effective has this approach been with O3 Mini?
Well, it's still early,
Right.
but initial results are promising.
Okay.
O3 Mini has shown improved performance on several safety benchmarks compared to earlier models.
So it's definitely a step in the right direction.
It seems to be.
A promising approach to improving AI safety.
For sure.
Now let's move on to something a bit lighter.
Okay.
O3 Mini's multilingual capabilities.
Right.
Those are really impressive.
Yeah, its performance on the MMLU dataset was remarkable, achieving high scores in 14 different languages.
So it sounds like it's truly a multilingual model.
Yeah.
Understanding and responding in a wide range of languages.
It is.
What implications could this have?
Well, it could revolutionize how we communicate and access information across cultures.
Wow.
Language barriers could become a thing of the past.
That's an incredible thought.
It is.
Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about O3 Mini's capabilities in the realm of cybersecurity. It seems those capabilities are raising some concerns.
As we discussed, O3 Mini performed remarkably well on a variety of cybersecurity tasks, including capture the flag challenges.
So we're potentially looking at a very capable hacker.
It has that potential.
Right.
Yeah, its coding abilities combined with internet access could easily be exploited to find vulnerabilities in systems.
That's a scary thought.
It is a concern.
So how can we mitigate that risk?
Well, it's a complex issue.
Yeah.
No easy solutions.
Okay.
One approach would be to restrict access to O3 Mini and other powerful AI models.
Okay.
Make them available only to trusted researchers and developers who understand the risks and how to mitigate them.
So it all comes down to responsible access, use.
When?
What other steps could be taken?
Well, investing in cybersecurity research and development is crucial.
Okay.
I mean, we need to find better ways to defend against AI-powered attacks.
Let's move on to another area where O3 Mini's capabilities have raised concerns. Its potential to assist in developing biological weapons.
OpenAI conducted a number of evaluations to assess this risk, and the findings were concerning.
In what way?
Well, O3 Mini can't independently design new bioweapons, but it could help someone with the right knowledge operationalize a threat.
So what can we do to prevent this from happening?
It's a challenging problem. Requires a multifaceted approach.
Can you elaborate on what that would look like?
Well, one important measure is to strengthen international treaties and regulations regarding biological weapons. The use of AI in developing these weapons is unacceptable.
So it's about drawing a clear line in the sand.
Exactly.
What other steps can we take?
We need to improve our ability to detect and monitor biological threats. Developing better sensors, surveillance systems, analytical tools would help us identify threats early on.
So being proactive is key.
Definitely.
Are there any other preventative measures?
I think we need to educate scientists, engineers, and policymakers about the risks associated with AI-powered bioweapons. Raising awareness about the potential dangers and encouraging responsible research.
So it sounds like fostering a culture of responsibility is crucial.
Yeah, I think creating an environment where the ethical implications of AI are considered at every stage of development is critical.
Let's talk about O3 Mini's ability to persuade.
Sure.
A controversial aspect that's causing some concern.
Yeah, O3 Mini performed well on several evaluations designed to assess its persuasiveness. The AI can craft convincing arguments and influence opinions.
Yeah, that's a powerful ability.
It is.
And one that could be misused very easily.
Right. The potential for O3 Mini to be used for propaganda manipulation or other harmful forms of persuasion is a very real concern.
What can be done to prevent this?
Well, it's a complex issue. One approach is to develop technical safeguards that prevent these models from being used for malicious persuasion.
Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Creating a system that flags content likely to be persuasive or manipulative would be helpful. This content could then be reviewed by humans.
So human oversight is key.
It's definitely an important factor.
Are there any other safeguards?
Developing AI models specifically designed to detect and counter persuasive content. These models could identify and debunk propaganda and misinformation.
So fighting fire with fire.
In a sense, yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another area where O3 Mini's capabilities have raised some questions.
Sure.
Its potential impact on the job market.
Right. As AI models become more sophisticated, they're capable of performing more tasks that were previously done by humans.
And this raises concerns about job displacement.
It does. Many people are worried that AI will automate their jobs out of existence.
Yeah, it's not an unfounded concern.
Right. AI is already having an impact on the job market, and that will only increase in the coming years.
So what can be done?
Well, it's a complex problem that requires a multi-pronged solution.
Yeah.
Investing in education and training programs that help workers adapt to the evolving job market would be a good start.
Yeah, we need to prepare people for the future.
Absolutely.
What else can we do?
Well, creating new job opportunities in fields related to AI is important.
Okay.
As AI becomes more common, there will be a growing need for people who can develop, implement, and maintain AI systems.
So it's not just about job displacement.
Right.
But also job creation.
Exactly. AI will both eliminate old jobs and create new ones.
One of the most significant implications of O3 Mini's capabilities is how they've challenged our understanding of intelligence.
It's true. As AI models become increasingly sophisticated, our traditional notions of intelligence are being challenged.
Can you elaborate on how that's happening?
Well, for a long time, we believed intelligence was a human trait.
Right.
But AI is changing that.
Wow.
Models like O3 Mini can learn, reason, and solve problems in ways that we once thought were exclusively human.
So it's definitely changing our perspective.
Yeah. It is AI models are blurring the lines between human and artificial intelligence, which raises important questions about what it means to be intelligent and the relationship between humans and machines.
It's an interesting concept.
It's an exciting and challenging time to be following the development of artificial intelligence.
Let's wrap up this part of our deep dive by going over the key takeaways so far.
Okay.
What have we learned about O3 Mini and the future of AI?
Well, I think we've learned that AI is advancing rapidly, and the capabilities of models like O3 Mini are impressive but also concerning.
It's a classic example of, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right. AI has the potential for great good, but it also has the potential for misuse.
Right.
We need to be cautious about how we develop and deploy this technology.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Let's take a break here and continue our conversation about O3 Mini in the next part of our deep dive. We've talked a lot about the potential risks of O3 Mini, but we haven't really discussed how OpenAI plans to actually prevent misuse.
Right.
Especially through the API.
Yeah, it's important to remember that O3 Mini isn't just a research project.
Right.
It's accessible to developers.
Yeah, that raises new questions about how people outside of OpenAI might use this technology.
It does.
So how are they addressing this concern?
Well, the system card outlines their safety measures.
Okay.
First, they're being very selective about who gets access to the API.
Okay.
There's a vetting process to ensure that developers have legitimate use cases and a good understanding of the risks.
So what happens once someone has access? Couldn't they find ways to bypass the safety rules?
That's where the instruction hierarchy comes in.
Okay.
It prioritizes safety instructions above all else.
Okay.
There are different levels of instructions that can be sent to O3 Mini.
Okay.
System messages, developer messages, and user messages.
Okay.
OpenAI sets the system messages, and they take the highest priority. So even if a developer tries to make the model do something harmful, the system messages should override those instructions.
So it's like a built-in safety net.
Yeah, you could say that.
It ensures that certain safety principles are always enforced.
Right.
But what about unintended consequences? What if someone uses O3 Mini in a way that OpenAI didn't anticipate?
Well, that risk always exists.
Right.
It's impossible to predict every possible use case. Yeah. OpenAI emphasizes ongoing monitoring and targeted investigations as part of their safety strategy.
So it's a combination of preventative measures.
Right.
And systems for detecting and responding to issues.
Yeah, a comprehensive approach to AI safety,
Okay.
covering both pre-deployment and post-deployment measures.
Okay, so we've discussed the technical safeguards.
Right.
But what about OpenAI's own values? Could their biases influence how they develop and control O3 Mini?
Well, any organization that creates powerful AI systems needs to be transparent about its values and goals.
Right.
And those values should be reflected in how they design and deploy their technology.
But how do we hold them accountable?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
It requires open communication and collaboration between AI developers, policymakers, ethicists, and the public.
Okay.
We need to have honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI and work together to develop guidelines for responsible development and use.
Seems like OpenAI has a lot of responsibility.
They do.
Are they prepared for this challenge?
Well, based on the system card, they're taking this very seriously.
Okay.
They've clearly thought about the risks
Right.
and developed mitigation strategies.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how effective their efforts are over time.
It's definitely something we'll be watching closely.
Absolutely.
I think we've covered just about everything in the system card.
Yeah, I think we've gone through a very thorough exploration of O3 Mini.
Before we finish, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. If an AI can already code search the internet, write persuasive arguments, and help plan bio-threats, what will future AI models be capable of?
That's a question we should all be considering.
It is.
Artificial intelligence is developing at an incredible pace.
Yeah, it is.
The capabilities of these models are both inspiring and a bit frightening.
Yeah, I agree.
We need to ensure this technology is used ethically. And that we're prepared for the challenges ahead.
This has been a fascinating look into the world of advanced AI.
It really has. It's been a pleasure discussing this with you.
We encourage everyone to continue learning and questioning.
Yes.
Until next time.